Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Talk Physical Media Live, and it's New Year's Eve, so happy New Year. And of course this is going to be the Talkies, which means it's my own little award show. We actually did this back in 2022, and we're going to award like the best 4K of the year, which you guys saw my top 10, so you already know. Worst 4K of the year, biggest disappointment, best audio, best box set, best boutique label, worst, studio, best major studio, the whole shebang. We'll get into it. We'll talk a little bit about the news as well, because some stuff has been announced since the last time we talked, because last week was Christmas Eve. So this week we got everything else. So feel free to comment. Let me just always make sure that you guys are able to comment. How do I sound? Is the audio good? Always keep me updated to that so I can make sure that everything is running well. Looks like you guys should have no issues commenting. Yep, it's not made for kids, so that's a good thing. That's always how it goes. So yeah, what a year, huh? In physical media. What's up, buddy? Jay, how you doing, man? How's it going? Haven't seen you in here in a while. Hopefully you're having a good time. Stone Gas Man's here. What's up, buddy? Audio sounds good to me, dude. Awesome. Thank you. I want to make sure. It's kind of hard to get feedback, like with no producer or anything. Like I can't tell for sure. That's why sometimes in my videos the audio can be a little off. It's because I don't know how good the audio really is going to be until after, because I set the camera up, set the mic up, and it's just me. So sometimes it doesn't come out great, and I don't know if I can ever replicate the same energy again. So that's the way she goes. Happy New Year, buddy. Hopefully 2026 is a good one. What's up, Stacy? Glad you can pop in here as well. Best music score of the year. Even though it's not my favorite movie of 2025 and actually didn't crack my top 10, Stacy, I think my favorite score of the year was Marty Supreme. Marty Supreme also had two great needle drops in the movie. Very 80s heavy score, even though the movie takes place in the 1950s. It felt like a little bit like an 80s movie. I just couldn't really get behind the lead character was my big one. Happy New Year, buddy. I'm glad you can pop in here, Jason. Hopefully you had a great year, man. I watch all your videos when I can. Happy New Year. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. I mean, I appreciate you doing that. I know not everyone comments, but I appreciate you checking out the video. That means a lot to me. Hopefully you had a great year too. Let's before we get into like the main stuff today, I'm also going to be doing our digital code giveaway and our physical media giveaway for our channel members today, so we'll get into all that, kind of space it out like a real award show. So we'll like do some awards, and then we'll then we'll get right back into everything else, like as far as the news goes, and the giveaways will slide all that stuff in between. So just setting up all the wheels and all the members wheels and everything kind of as we go. Let's see. Okay, as you guys can see, that's the digital code giveaway wheel. Who you cast as Mr. X for Streets of Rage movie? I'm not entirely too sure about that. So yeah, new releases for Arrow. This is for March 2025. Hard Boiled's pretty interesting, because Hard Boiled is going to have a Dolby Atmos track, which is very different from the Shout release, which actually only had a Kutchinese and English track, which was not Dolby Atmos. It was just a, LPCM, I believe, just a mono 2.0 track. And it was fine, but it's crazy that Arrow Video somehow secured the rights to get a Dolby Atmos track, which is very interesting. So if you held out and didn't get the Hard Boiled US release and you were waiting for that UK release from Arrow Video, well, it worked out pretty damn well, because you're going to be getting that on 4K. I imagine the visuals will be the same, probably have some differences in extras if I had to guess, but not 100% sure on that. And the big one, though, at least for me personally, that I will be grabbing on day one is Salem's Lot. Now, we knew this was coming. They hinted at it. We saw the little like mini teaser trailer that Arrow Video kind of does now, and which we just saw, by the way, for Mortal Kombat. So if you guys were waiting for Mortal Kombat 1995 to come, with their deal with New Line, well, we got it. We got it finally officially, and like it's kind of officially announced. Like it's like that tease, but they did it for the Mask, they did it for Spawn, they did it for the Turtles, and now we got that same exact kind of little teaser trailer for Mortal Kombat. So it looks like it's coming on 4K. Which means, again, that door is still cracked open for us to be getting Dumb and Dumber, because that's the same Warner Brothers New Line deal right in that same era. So I hope we get it. I really hope we do. Stone Gasman says Rick Romanis is back for Spaceballs 2 next year. I can't believe that either. But if Mel Brooks is coming back, if everybody who's still alive, R.I.P. John Candy obviously can't come back as Barf. I don't know how they're going to work around that. I mean, I guess the joke writes itself that dogs live shorter lives. Like, I don't know. But it's sad that he won't be there, but it's like Mel Brooks is 100 years old. He's going to do that. Rick Moranis, he retired from acting because his kids, he wanted to raise his kids after his wife passed away from cancer. Like a very honorable way to like bow out of acting. And like now it's like, okay, they've grown up. I can probably go and do my own thing. And I'm sure they would give him their blessing to do it, right? Because who doesn't want to see that? I got this pre-order from Valeria Video, which I haven't ordered from yet. I heard they're great. Frank always talks about them. They'll use his son. Yeah, I'm a big fan of. I already haven't pre-ordered Salem's Lot yet because for some reason, like the prices seem to go down with Arrow Video releases lately. I don't know if you've noticed that, but like Arrow Video, they'll put them out at the price and they'll stay at that price. But like if other third parties, it'll start dropping in price as you get closer to release. Under Siege is one that's coming out this week that dropped in price as we got closer to release, and we saw with the Mask and TMNT. So if you can wait a little while, you can actually probably get all of the Arrow Video price releases at a much cheaper price than what they initially come out at. That's kind of a big reason why I stopped ordering from Arrow Video themselves and just ordering from third party. I don't like doing that, but they're kind of forcing me. What's up, William? Glad you can pop in here, buddy. Hope everything is going well. Yep. Let's see what else we got. So yeah, actually, speaking of Spaceballs, here's the Spaceballs 4K Blu-ray release for Arrow Video if you want to get a good look at that. Now, we got this a couple of years ago here in the United States, so I believe this is just UK only. But I imagine with the amount of time that has passed since the last 4K Blu-ray release, this will probably look a little bit better, and I might end up grabbing this. Now, I'm not the world's biggest Spaceballs fan. It's not my favorite Mel Brooks film. That'll always be Young Frankenstein. As much of a Star Wars fan as I am, I believe it or not, I'm not the world's biggest Spaceball fans. And I know my buddy Alan, who's he's got Spaceball tattoos. It probably kills him to hear that, but not the world's biggest. It'll be what it'll be. I won't touch their site. Arrow Video got the pre-order. Pre-order too. I mean, yeah, I get it. Like I love Arrow Video's releases, but I don't love ordering from Arrow Video's website. I wish it wasn't that way, but sometimes that's the way she goes. They all can't be winners, right? Robin Hood Men in Tights is great. Like for the most part, all of his movies are at least watchable. They're all funny. I just think it's funny because Young Frankenstein seems to be the one that gets forgotten now. Like last year was its anniversary, and we didn't get it on 4K Blu-ray, which is crazy. We got Blazing Saddles, which is the same year, but I always was a big Young Frankenstein fan. I think the homage to the Universal monsters like really struck a chord with me. See, yeah, I mean, Men in Tights is great. I can always appreciate that one. Spaceballs, it's fun. It's got some great jokes in there. I mean, you couldn't do it without Rick Moranis if you're gonna have Dark Helmet back. So I'm excited about that. I might end up grabbing that, but Spaceballs 2 coming out is pretty freaking awesome. Red Sonja coming. This is pretty cool. And it's funny because 2 years ago, we got the Conan films in January on 4K, and they felt so much like winter 4K Blu-rays, didn't they? And now this one's coming out very much looks like in the same exact art style, but this one's coming out in March. So pretty excited about that. So this is one I probably will grab as well. I don't know if I'll grab it day one like Salem's Lot. Like Salem's Lot's like the big one for me that month. So I'm pretty excited about it. Red Sonja, a little bit. I'm excited. I like the artwork. One thing that's not official, just want to announce to you guys, Devil's Advocate. That's not officially announced, but I'm pretty sure that's coming. That looks too real for it not to be. Coming to 4K. So I think the first award I want to hand out today for the talkies, as far as, and I want to hear from you guys, of course, too, is what the worst 4K Blu-ray of the year is. Now, I figured, get the worst out of the way. I don't like to be too much of a negative Nancy and like shine a light on too many 4K Blu-rays. And usually I don't make too many mistakes. Like I don't buy movies that I'm not necessarily too interested in seeing anyway. So I'll take a risk sometimes, and usually it's just more of a disappointment, but we have a most disappointing. But I really do believe this was the worst 4K Blu-ray release of the year as far as I saw. I didn't check out every 4K Blu-ray, but Tommy Boy, I was really disappointed with how this one looked. And of course, it's Paramount. So Paramount being always one of the worst major studios out there, will take the lazy route like whenever they can. A lot of this year was filled with them recycling audio tracks. Surprisingly, though, ending the year pretty damn high with Minority Report, but I really think that they let us down there with Tommy Boy, in my opinion. Mel Brooks movie is Life Stinks. Okay, that's a pretty good choice. I kind of wish Arrow included Red Sonja in that Conan set. Still need to see the new Red Sonja, as do I. And I know people like, that's always what it was like. Why didn't Red Sonja come out with that film? I guess it doesn't make sense for it to come out 2 years later. It just would make sense in that box set, but it never happened. Maybe there was some sort of rights issues. These things happen. So that's probably my guess. But yeah, for me, Tommy Boy was probably the worst 4K Blu-ray of the year. I don't. What do you guys think though? It's most underrated. Yep. I have Tommy Boy Blu-ray still. I didn't upgrade my copy, and I don't think you need to. And that's really when it kind of comes down to is when you put out a 4K Blu-ray like this. Like they actually did a pretty good job on the steelbook, and they also did a good job on the slipcover. So I'm like, I'm happy to have it in my collection as a replacement, only because I bought it. So it's like I'm gonna have it anyway. So I might as well have the best version. But if it's not even like a half notch of an upgrade, and it's like really everything is just recycled and it's just to get money, and that's the biggest problem I have with Paramount in general is it feels like a lot of their releases are just to get money from people, and it should really be about the quality of the film and giving that the proper upgrade it deserves. When we get in the most disappointing in a second, you'll see what I mean. But like Tommy Boy is a classic to a lot of people from the 1990s. That's one of those comedies that's in the rotation for like 80s and 90s kids is Tommy Boy, like just right around that time, like of Adam Sandler at his peak. And people still quote that. The late, great Chris Farley, David Spade, they had great chemistry. It's just one of those movies. And it's a shame. Even today, I was quoting Tommy Boy at work today because a guy at my job, he has a big mark across his face right here. And I'm like, does it hurt here? Or is it hurt here? Is it just mostly right here? And he was young and he didn't get the reference. But I was quoting Tommy Boy, and I think it just deserved better treatment, in my opinion. Paramount, what do you do? That's the thing. Go see. Oh, we want to go see a thriller with Yoda. I'm going to see a thriller with Yoda. At least, actually, no. I'm going to see a comedy with Obi-Wan. I think he would be a better time. So I that's my pick for worst of the year. I don't know if you guys like. For the most part, 4K Blu-rays don't really miss as much as they used to back in the day. Like they've really gotten to the point. Like at least they're going to get a visual upgrade, and it's just at the point: can you justify the visual upgrade to the price? And it's just Tommy Boy just felt like a huge swing and a miss, and it shouldn't have been. Now, most disappointing, I actually have two right here. One I talked about pretty recently, and that was Boogie Nights. Now, Boogie Nights is not a bad 4K Blu-ray per se. It's just that it's not a big upgrade from the previously released Blu-ray, and it didn't get a big upgrade in the extras department. In fact, it got none. And that's really a huge disappointment. You couldn't even do nothing. And we've seen Warner Brothers do releases like this, like Judas and the Black Messiah, and their Nice Guys release earlier this year. They just took the very lazy route, Warner Brothers, and we see studios like Second Sight actually give it the proper treatment. And Boogie Nights is one of my favorite films, and it's also, I think, a lot of people's favorite film. And Paul Thomas Anderson had a great film in One Battle After Another this year. And I think they just wanted to capitalize on the One Battle After Another name and Paul Thomas Anderson and be like, hey, do you remember this film from the 1990s? But the thing is, a lot of us didn't forget the film, and we're hoping that you would give it like the Amadeus treatment that you gave it earlier in the year. And you didn't. You kind of just gave it this half-ass release and kind of held people hostage when it came to the steelbook because that's the much nicer artwork. And then the quality is just, like it's better. That's the thing. It's just only better in the visuals. Then to make matters worse, what I didn't even bring up in my review is that the digital release had Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, but yet the physical release doesn't. The physical release should always have the proper release. Everything should be on that. All the bells and whistles should go to the physical media release, not the digital release. Like the digital release, I think, should be there to assist it, but that's just kind of where they want to guide the more general audience. But it's Boogie Nights, man. How does Boogie Nights not get proper treatment with those needle drops? It makes no damn sense to me. Yes, that's a big news story this year that I guess we should be talking about a little bit more. And I noticed this when channel members can see my Black Phone review. The rest of you guys will get it on Friday. But like in the double pack, one thing I noticed is the Black Phone 4K, very dark as far as the visuals go, but the audio was really good as far as the Atmos track goes. Fast forward to the 2025 4K release of Black Phone 2, and all of a sudden the bass is like turned down, which is a common theme in 2025 Dolby Atmos tracks. And obviously they're recycling a lot of audio. So they are getting a lot lazier when it comes to the audio track. Like when was the last time you got a DTSX track? Why has that been completely abandoned? I don't remember reading any information on it. Not everything gets an audio upgrade anymore. And that's pretty crazy because one of the big selling points of the 4K Blu-ray format was also the audio, not just the visuals, but the audio. Like it was rare to get a Dolby Atmos track on the Blu-ray release back in the day, but it started to come around towards the end, then 4Ks, and that was kind of a big selling point, but they've kind of just shifted away. Paramount especially, like they're reusing Dolby True HDs like it's fucking candy. not even giving any effort, which is just a shame because, like, like people have even said like old DVD tracks were better than some modern tracks, and that's crazy to me. What's up, Aaron Click? Glad you could pop in here, buddy. Hope you're having a great day. Happy New Year. On audio visuals with no IMAX scenes. I was disappointed with definitely the visuals when it came to F1, but I actually have F1 up there. It's like some of my favorite audio of the year as far as like modern films, like as far as the sound mix goes. I thought they did a pretty good job on the F1 audio. Maybe not as far as like the best of the year. Like I got two more like from the same actual company from the same film that I said was the best, but yeah, F1 was a letdown in the fact that they just like held back scenes. Now they did it for Sinners. Why couldn't they do it for F1? Is it the Apple tie-in? Like but that doesn't make sense either because you guys saw that they were promoting the Apple 4K release over there on Apple TV, but they didn't get the IMAX scenes for that either. Like they said, this was the excuse. We want to save it for the theatrical experience. But when are you going to re-release it for us to go see it in theaters? Like there's no guarantee on that. If someone invests in a home theater and you have the capabilities, we want to see it at home, don't we? Needed more bass. That's always the big problem this year. I feel like we didn't get enough bass. I feel like that was the biggest letdown for us. Warfare was great 4K sound. Warfare, the problem with that movie was like between that and Civil War last year. Yes, great audio. I just didn't enjoy the films that much. Not necessarily my and I love Alex Garland, but I think Alex Garland's achievement in film this year was writing 28 years later, and he's going to be writing 28 years later I guess it's called part 2, The Bone Temple. It's coming out in February, directed by Neil DeCostas. 28 years later, you guys will see in my top 10 of the year list for sure. That probably has great audio too, as far as like a home theater, but I didn't get that 4K, so I can't tell for sure. But Warfare, yes, Alex Garland, his last two films have definitely been an achievement in audio. Civil War was, I think, just a much better, more focused film. Like interesting what he was doing with Warfare. I just prefer like his writing style that he did with Danny Boyle this year, and then 28 years later. I think that was the better film in my opinion. Definitely one of the best dealing with grief as well. I don't know if you guys all caught that movie this year. Warfare is my top 11 films of the year. Amazing theatrical experience. That's where that's gonna live, is like in the theaters, even though it gets good 4K Blu-ray. But I can't imagine rewatching that film. And that's kind of another thing with like Marty Supreme. Like I might grab the 4K Blu-ray, give it a second watch at home, because there's some, like I said, I love the score, I love the needle drop, just didn't necessarily love the film that much. Still a great film. It's just I didn't necessarily love the character. I explained it a little bit more in one of my other videos, but I didn't necessarily love it. Like everyone's like putting this in like their top 5. I saw it. I enjoyed it. I love that the opening credits are an homage to Look Who's Talking. I never thought I would see on the big screen a sperm entering an egg again. Like that was definitely something I was surprised at when it came to Marty Supreme. But hey, it has to be an homage to Look Who's Talking, right? With all the 80s stuff in there. There's no way it's not. But I thought that was awesome. But yeah, just a little bit of a letdown. Let's see. Are you pulling the trigger for Once Upon a Time in America 4K? Not yet. I mean, you said how good it is, but it's got to get a US release, right? Like at some point, like through the Criterion collection, like it's Sergio Leone. I can't, I want to see it. Like I'm in a mood to really watch it too, and I would love to review it, but I haven't decided yet just because I'm not sure. The Turbine release of Black Phone has much better picture. That's what I've heard, but that's like a shame, isn't it? But if they knew that, and they knew this was an issue in 2023, Universal, why wouldn't you correct it like before this 4K double pack that just got released? Like I got the 4K double pack, and like I'm happy to have Black Phone because I think it's a better film than Black Phone 2, but Black Phone 2 is such a better 4K, except in the audio. It's just, it would have been nicer if they upgraded and fixed that picture, because I don't know how you ship that out with it being as dark as it was. It was just a little disappointing. It's a shame because you had, before you re-released it, you had time to fix it, but you kind of chose not to. That's kind of the thing that bothers me the most on that. Let's see what else. One other news story real quick that I wanted to get into. Friday, this is pretty much official now. Like this is supposed to come out last year. Remember in the leak from last year that we were going to get Friday on 4K Blu-ray? Well, I rewatched Friday and Friday After Next and Next Friday pretty recently. Friday After Next is a Christmas movie, in my opinion. I watched that during the Christmas season, but Friday is an all-time classic in the comedy genre, in my opinion, and it deserves a 4K Blu-ray upgrade, and it deserves to get the theatrical cut back on physical media, because, my God, just having the director's cut on Blu-ray was really disappointing for so long. So unfortunately, we got stuck with that, but we're going to be getting the 4K Blu-ray release. It looks like, which I'm very happy about because Friday, I actually have the poster in my living room for Friday. I have 3 posters in my living room. I got Friday, Scream, and Pulp Fiction. I just realized saying it out loud that all those movies came out within 3 years of each other and go 94, 95, and 96. But we're getting them both, hopefully on 4K Blu-ray. But we will see. Warfare, because of its depressing subject matters on the level of American Sniper and why it's not repeat viewing. American Sniper, that's a good point. American Sniper was great, though. The only thing that kills that movie is the fake baby. That was horrible. Still a great Clint Eastwood directed movie, and that movie made a ton of money. Now I'm worried how Universal is going to treat Somewhere in Time in February's 4K. Hopefully they, Universal for the most part, their 4K Blu-rays are always pretty solid 8 out of 10s. Like earlier this year, I mean, we're talking about how they fumbled just now, but earlier this year with the Jurassic Park 4Ks, I thought those were a nice upgrade, but it still felt like a little half-assed, and they didn't perfect it, but they felt like 8 out of 10s, where it's like these are pretty good. But again, it's just always in comparison to the boutique labels. It's upsetting when you see that pretty much every major studio will always cut at least some corner, and we have to depend on like the boutiques to like give us the proper releases. Where we live in a world where Spawn has a better 4K Blu-ray release than Boogie Nights. Like that makes no sense. Like it just shouldn't be that way. But Arrow Video is going to treat their releases better than fucking, unfortunately, Warner Brothers. I need Scream 4K on Blu-ray already. The rumor is that that's going to be a February Lionsgate limited release, and that's been a rumor for just about a year now, because I remember making the comment last year around this time, like, well, that's crazy that's a rumor for a year, but supposedly it's coming and from Lionsgate, and that's the only one we need. And I still, to this day, I think Scream 4 is the second best of all the Scream movies. I'm not really too excited about Scream 7. I don't know how you guys is doing some wear in time. Is it Kino? Oh, yeah. Are they doing the US release? So we're going to do the first giveaway as well. Let me just show you guys the digital codes that are available. So if you're entered in the digital code giveaway, these are the digital codes that are available to you right now. Get a look. There's Black Phone 1 and 2. That's a new edition. And then we're going to share that screen. So we're going to remove this, share the screen, and let's see. So let's shuffle it up a little bit. Spin this wheel twice. Lower that. Why do you want to hear that? And we'll see who our lucky winners are. Hey, rebuilds cost more. Damn actors unions. That's a good point. Looks like Nostalgia 1 by 1 is going to win our first digital code. Congratulations. We're going to remove you from the second spin. For this. I'm back when we do it. Congratulations. You won the first one. Make sure you reach out to me at letstalkentmt@gmail.com. Let me know which of the digital codes you want. As long as the other winner, who we're going to find out about right now, doesn't take it, that digital code is all yours. Also, I appreciate you guys all joining me on New Year's Eve. I tried to make it as early as I could because I know you guys probably got stuff going on. Oh, and Sunshine, congratulations. It's been a while since you won one. Enters every week. Longtime supporter. Always love that. Thank you guys so much. Again, make sure you reach out to me. You guys know how. Last time you reached out, actually, I remember it went to what's it called? Went to spam. So hopefully that doesn't happen again the last time you won. So we'll remove that. Congratulations. We'll do our members giveaway in a second. Let's just go down and do another award, by the way, before we did that. So we did the other most disappointing, because we kind of only did Boogie Nights. And I don't know if you guys remember this release earlier in the year. Every year I make a top 10 list, and I filmed the one for this year, but it's not out yet. Got to still edit it. Is the top 10 movies that still need to come to 4K. And every year until this upcoming year, I would include the Jim Carrey 94 films. We got The Mask. We got one other film, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. And Shout Factory did this one in the Shout Select line, and this was a huge disappointment to me, and a huge disappointment to a lot of people for different reasons. I wasn't as upset about the dolphin trainer scene as other people, but that was a big deal because it's been lost since, I believe, the DVD. And I remember it too. Like, everyone just, like, some people were like, "What is this? One of those Mandela effect things?" That scene actually does. No, I remembered because my cousin Matt would always quote the scene. He's like, "Does he call you? Does the dolphin? The dolphin? Does he call you at home?" Like, I remember like that line very well. And it's been cut and kind of lost to time. And all this upgrade that we got was just to the visuals. The audio is the same. The extras are the same. Like this is just a lazy visual upgrade. Now, for a lot of people, the 4K Blu-ray format is really just for the visual upgrade. See, for me, I kind of look at it. I look at it as the total package. Like you got to give it nice packaging, give it like a nice audio upgrade, visual upgrade, and give us the bonus features. That was always a big selling point of physical media. Make these feel special because they cost like they're fucking special. And this was just like for one of my favorite comedies of all time. Like I will be watching this 4K Blu-ray for years to come because it's the best version of Ace Ventura. But just like Boogie Nights, it should be better. And unfortunately, it's just not. And that's really what let me down. I wish we got the TV version of Goonies added to the 4K release. That's another thing. And for the most part, they are good about adding like the TV versions, but because that release is a Warner Bros. Release, if I'm correct, they're not going to include the TV version. But had that been an Arrow video release, you would have definitely got it. Like even like a lot of 4K releases now usually include the TV version because a lot of people find those fun, and I get that they are a lot of fun. Now, as far as audio goes, I think the best audio this year, and I said I thought F1 was up there. F1's a good one, but I didn't have it on my favorites of the year. I would probably go with the two Tron movies as the best audio this year. Hold on. The two Trons, Tron and Tron Legacy. Now, I haven't seen Tron Ares, but I heard that's another check in the right direction or of best audio department. But, the 4K is coming out in January. So it doesn't make the list. I feel obligated to grab the 4K Steelbooks because these Steelbooks are really nice. They actually have a good amount of weight to them as well. But these audio tracks, I gave the 10 out of 10 to Tron Legacy. So I think that was the best audio of this year. Given, I mean, it had a lot working for it, which was a surprise. I just think that was probably the best. I did like F1's audio. I know not a lot of people may have loved that, but I love it when you Hans Zimmer score racing. I thought it was pretty well mixed. I really did enjoy it. King Count gave us the TV version during the theatrical. That is true. I have that 4K actually. That's actually my favorite King Kong. Avatar 3 yet? I haven't watched Avatar 3 yet. I am not a big Avatar fan, actually. I actually went back and forth like with my wife, and like I was like, I'm gonna go see it just because of the channel. Like I feel like I'm obligated to see it. But she's like, you didn't like Avatar 1 and 2, and I'm like, I know, I don't like the Avatar movies, and I'm like, it still blows me away that James Cameron hasn't made a non-Avatar movie since 1997. You know how old I was in 1997? I was 5 years old. Like I was in kindergarten, and that was the last time Titanic came out. It's the last time James Cameron made a non-Avatar movie. I just want to see him do something a little bit different at this point. I feel like he's got it in him. He's in the ocean. And that's what he's into doing. I'm just I don't know. I know people love him though. That's the thing. I know that people are a big fan. Titanic was a classic. Like he couldn't miss for me before that. It's just like the Avatar movies, they're visual things. That's really what they're about, showing off the new technology. And I just, it's got to be a good film too. What was that film? Gemini Man. Everyone always brings up Gemini Man, and it's 4K. It's a great 4K. It really is. It looks beautiful. The fucking movie sucks. I don't care how good the 4K looks. That's just to show off your system. But you're the one using your system the most, and I want to see a good looking movie. So what do you guys feel like? What was the best audio in your opinion for 2025? Anything like stand out to you guys? Just because, like, what was your favorite? That's a good point. But the Avatar movies have made $6 billion. I'm not taking anything away from the Avatar movies. Like, don't let me be the negative Nancy. I personally don't like the Avatar movies. I know why other people love them. They're very successful. There's no reason to stop making them. They always get people out to theaters, which is the biggest goal of any movie. Same thing with the Wicked films. Like, I don't really like those movies, but if they make money and get people out to theaters, that should be the ultimate goal. I wish they made more. I wish that movies that I like were more successful. That would be nice, but it's not about me. It's about like the business in general. I just want to see it succeed. So I get it. Naked Gun was great. That remake, almost made my top 10 of the year, which I did not expect at all because it's so funny. And Liam Neeson really proved something to me. I didn't think he had comedy in him. I don't know why I doubted him. Best Sound and Warfare #2. That's a good one. Silverado had a great audio track as well this year. Just a great film. If you haven't seen it, Lawrence Kasdan directed Naked Gun by Liam. Naked Gun was great. I truly loved it. I showed my wife that movie the other night. I bought so many movies this year. I forgot it was a 2026 release. Yeah, my God, isn't it crazy? I went a little crazy myself. What's up, Tonio? Tron Legacy. I knew you'd pop in on Tron. Right, that audio was great. I think it's funny. Jeremy Johns was talking about Tron Ares this year. He put on his worst movies of the year list, which makes me glad that I didn't waste my time going to see it. But he said that like that the audio was great, but he said that in his comments there's a lot of love for Tron Legacy. So people are finally coming back around and noticing the quality of Tron Legacy. I still think the original Tron's the best. I've always defended the look of that movie, and I thought that was a great 4K Blu-ray upgrade. And honestly, I'll be revisiting Tron a lot more than I'll probably be revisiting Tron Legacy, but Tron Legacy is still a great film, and that has just, I mean, the Daft Punk score. You had to be there. It was a moment. Moana live action is coming. Oh, the Moana movie. Yes, the Moana live action film is coming this year. Summer rental audio, average. Yeah, summer rental was a letdown for a lot of people as well this year. So that's a shame. Really is a shame. What other news is there? So All the President's Men. So the UK release for All the President's Men and Ben-Hur has been confirmed for I believe February 16th in the UK, February 17th here in the US. I was hoping it would be like in January, because January is kind of a weird month. Not many big 4K releases earlier in the year. Which is good for us. Like if we're making our list, like I'm going through and making a lot of lists right now for the next couple of weeks, because like the best of the year kind of deal, like we're talking about today. But like it's not really any big 4K releases in the next couple of weeks until about 1408, then one battle after another. But then there's a ton at the end of the month. Would have just been nice to get that in one shot. Oh, original. See, I feel the exact same way. Like it was like a new experience with Tron when I watched it on an OLED TV like this year, and with the great audio. Like those were great releases. I don't like how Disney handled it. Like a lot of people didn't get their steelbooks like until months later, which is insanity. Like people who pre-ordered this stuff, like it was hard to get. I didn't like that they couldn't meet the demand. Like don't take the pre-orders then. But the quality of the release was mind-blowing. Like they were great releases. Like I can't say a bad thing about that. Not a great movie for me. No, you weren't a fan of Wolf of Wall Street? That's a shame. I love Wolf of Wall Street, one of my personal favorites. But I get it. It's opinion based. It's a subjective art form. Not being as good as 100 Jared Leto's fault. He has them rewrite his character as a hero. That's another thing I have to repeat that Jeremy John said that was really funny in that same thing. He's like, he's never seen an actor fall uphill more than Jared Leto. It's like, why do studios keep giving him a shot? Like, you know, he had his moment. Like he really did, and he should have stayed in his lane. After Dallas Buyers Club, but it's like all of a sudden they started putting franchises on Jared Leto's back, and he's not the actor for it. So just bad decision after bad decision there, in my opinion. But back to All the President's Men. So that's coming out. I already have that pre-ordered, this steelbook right here. There's the standard edition that you can see right there, which is actually not too bad. You know, I've seen Warner Brothers do worse. We just talked about Boogie Nights. I've seen them butcher some artwork. They did not here. So I think the standard edition, if you go that route, is more than fair. I'm going with the steelbook on this one. I am a big fan of this film. So, and the Blu-ray is a really shitty Blu-ray. So I'm glad that this one's getting the 4K Blu-ray upgrade. What else we got on this list? And here's Ben-Hur. Now, Ben-Hur, I didn't pre-order. I'm not the world's biggest Ben-Hur fan. It's going to really come down to funds. There's a lot of movies coming to 4K in February. I got to see which ones I can afford that month and which ones I can't. Ben-Hur, though, you know, I do want to see that. I'm sure the audio will be good on this. I'm sure it's going to look great. A lot of movies from that era translate great to the 4K Blu-ray format. Like, I'm not a big fan of the 10 Commandments, but that's a phenomenal looking 4K Blu-ray. And, you know, it's like one, like I watched it last year. I might go back to it in like 2 or 3 years again, just because it kind of feels, you know, one thing about an epic and watching it at home, as long as you got that OLED TV and like the sound system, you can almost replicate that feeling. Lawrence of Arabia at home, sure, not as good as in the theater, but still a great experience. Drinking tea. Can't drink coffee anymore. I got to drink tea now. So it's the new thing. Better for your stomach. I like Atlantis and Treasure Planet. So underrated. Very good point as well. All President Blue is the worst of all time, Rico. Damn, man. Yeah, I mean, it's a bad one. It's definitely not that great. And I'm glad. I always think about the opening scene, and I'm like, this looks fucking horrible. So I'm hoping that, and Warner Brothers, for the most part, you know, again, Boogie Nights, they ruined it like for the end of the year, which I guess can bring us to our next award, which is the best major studio of the year, as far as like, you know, Universal, Warner Brothers, Paramount, the big studios who still put out 4K Blu-rays, Sony, who had the best 2025. Even though Warner Brothers, did do those lazy releases, I still believe that they had the best year overall as far as their releases go. They did a great job with the Clint Eastwood 4Ks earlier in the year. Did a great job at Amadeus, Lethal Weapon. I think that they overall, like, they didn't fumble their major releases. Was Constantine this year as well? Like, that's another one that's a great release, and that had great audio. I mean, like, that's just, they did do a good job overall. It's just, I don't understand. Like, Paramount does this too. It's like, it's almost like they have an A, B, and C team. Like, one of them like is working on this area and on these 4Ks, and they get the real proper treatment. They give them the UK, like the nice collector's edition that we never get over here. And then over here in the US, like, they give us like a steelbook and a shitty like standard edition Blu-ray for like some of the movies that they just kind of cast off to the side. And I'm like, why? Like, that's a boutique label would give that the proper treatment. But then they give us like Dirty Harry, which I thought was a quality 4K release, of The Outlaw Josie Wells. And then of course I thought Pale Rider was the best of them. They can do that. It's just like, so overall, I think they did a great job this year. I just, they were just a little bit short of perfection, in my opinion. Oh yeah, Master and Commander, it was so disappointing. A lot of people, I thought it was good, but I see what a lot of people are saying about that one. Then that was a big one for a lot of people that were really let down. I thought that 4K Blu-ray, that this year, and Kingdom of Heaven were like two big ones where I feel like the ball was fumbled, and also getting it out to people. Like, we were really excited going into 2025 for that Sony Disney team up. They're going to be giving us these great 4K Blu-rays for movies that we've been waiting a long time for. And I feel like for the most part, it's like we were a little bit let down because, like Edward Scissorhands, they only gave us upgrades like in the visual and audio department, didn't give us any new extras, and they were so difficult to get. Here in the United States, they might only even give you the steelbook option, and you would have to order through a third-party retailer. I don't know why I can't speak. A third-party retailer and get the standard edition like I did for the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It just shouldn't have been that way. I feel like they fumbled the ball in that area. 2019 is better, really. I don't know. I hope Disney keeps giving Sony work for their 4K releases. Well, there's still plenty of movies that they need to do together. So I hope, like, I just want them on 4K Blu-ray. I'm happy with the visual and audio upgrade, but I just would like them to lower the price a little bit and just make it a little bit easier to get for people. I don't like that. I think shouldn't be that hard to get. Like, people pre-order it, you should honor a pre-order. I want to see Sing Song Blue. That looks great. I was going to actually go see that, and there's the possibility on Monday I might actually have some time, Monday or Tuesday, to go see Sing Song Blue, because I heard how good it was. And, one thing people always hurl as an insult on a movie is like, oh, it's such a melodrama. I'm like, but what if I like melodramas? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, just go fuck myself? Like, I want to watch it. So personally, I'm kind of excited to see Sing Song Blue. I haven't been able to see Park Chung-wook's new movie yet. I don't know when that's going to be coming here, like, into my area, so I could see that one. But overall, I've been able to, like, check out all the movies that have come out this year so far. My cousin music. Hey, listen, whatever works for you. I prefer the original Lion King. I think that's the best of them still. Thank you, Stacy. I really appreciate the compliment. That means a lot. I appreciate that very, very much. Just going to, what's it called? We're going to remove this real quick, and we're going to do our channel members giveaway as well. Let's see, share screen. So, guys, if you're a channel member on the producers tier or higher, your name goes on this magic wheel right here. I spin this one time. The name it lands on has their choice of the 4K Blu-rays that I'll show you guys right after this, because I don't think any of them are in here right now. But if they are, what's up, guys? So we'll see who wins this giveaway. Actually, no, I think hopefully you guys can see that, and then we'll put the winner right now. Ghostbusters get F1. F1 is great 4K. It's a little bit disappointing overall in some categories, but also the film itself was great. Oh, John Doe Jeff's gonna win. Oh, perfect. Okay, congratulations, John Doe Juggalo, who has a great YouTube channel as well. Jeff, this is what you have to choose from. I'm going to remove this from the screen since you already won, and you have a choice of these 4K Blu-rays and Blu-rays right here. So as you can see, Uncle Buck, The Crow, The Thing, 2012, Night of the Comet. Those are all 4Ks. The Ring is the Blu-ray Steelbook. Rope, Color Out of Space, Lego Batman, Pulp Fiction, What Lies Beneath, and Nightmare on Elm Street are all 4K Blu-rays as well. you have your choice, buddy, of any of those 4K Blu-rays, and I'll mail them out to you. And also, guys, if you want the Blu-ray giveaway from our last video, make sure you send me your addresses. I think it was Dan's Movie Room and Thomas Anderson, so I can mail those out on Monday as well with this physical media giveaway. So congrats. I just got done watching Reanimator for, wow, blew me away. I never seen it. Oh my God, that was your first time watching it? I hope you enjoyed that, man. That's a great freaking film. Reanimator is one I was actually talking about in a video I was filming earlier today, and how I feel like I kind of undervalued it a little bit in that 4K review, and like maybe didn't appreciate it enough. Sometimes you kind of don't match the energy correctly, and I feel like I should have, like, really, that was a great 4K and that was a great film. And it really is. I'm glad you enjoyed it as well. Favorite boutique Blu-ray produce of 2025. Yes, so we do have a great so as far as the best boutique of 2025, I went with Arrow Video, and I got a couple of reasons why, but I'm going to show you the first reason right out of the gate for best boutique label of 2025. And it was really for their mashup and team up with New Line Cinemas, thanks to their deal with Warner Brothers, who owns New Line Cinemas, and which is something that's very concerning about WB. I mean, Netflix buying WB is like, are we going to still get 4K Blu-ray releases like this, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trilogy, or, The Mask, one of my all-time favorite films. I can't believe it got a 4K Blu-ray release like this. It hurt me to leave it off the list. Or Spawn. Like, Spawn is a movie that I love. I've made a couple videos with my cousin Dennis because we're both big fans of this. Still can't believe that this came to 4K Blu-ray. Like, I like holding these in my hand. Like, it feels special because these are just great 4K Blu-ray releases, and Arrow Video like gives it the proper care. Like, Criterion for me had another great year as well, and they usually do. Shout kind of disappointed me with some of their releases. Like, I could have put Time Cop as like one of the worst 4K releases of the year as well. Got the same exact transfer as like Ace Ventura. Just gave it a 4K Blu-ray upgrade in the visual department, and that being it. So that was a letdown in my opinion as well. And so I couldn't include them as the best. Kino had like an average year. Umbrella had a great year. I think a lot of people. Second Sighted also had a great year. Original Blade Runner is one of my favorite films ever. Love that movie. Great 4K. 2012 is a great movie. 4K is great. Movie, I'm a little shaky on the movie. That's not one of my personal favorites, but I understand why people love it. I get why people would be a big fan of it. Roland Emmerich's films, like, it depends. Independence Day is probably still my favorite. I can't believe we got Dogma this year. I was stoked. That's another one. Like, another movie I can't believe we got on 4K Blu-ray. This year is filled with that. Like, a lot of movies that like we couldn't believe. I still can't believe that we haven't gotten Fight Club on 4K Blu-ray yet. We've gotten a lot of other great movies, but I still can't believe we haven't gotten Fight Club, which is, I still think, the most popular film of 1999. Maybe The Matrix is the most popular, and I'm speaking a little out of term there. Got a little out of term yourself. So I do believe that Arrow Video, though, overall gave us the best quality of releases. Let's not forget about the Dollars trilogy on 4K Blu-ray this year, like outshining those Kino Lorber 4K Blu-ray releases. Given those are only UK releases and you would have to import them, that's another big talking point this year. The prices of 4Ks, import fees. Like, we're still in the thick of it, where I feel like 4K pricing is a little uneven, and like kind of holding certain markets hostage when it comes to the steelbooks and everything. And like only offering that option is not something I'm a big fan of. I believe you should give people the economy version as well. I think that's fair, but unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the normality anymore. So that's something that I'm a little bit I'm not a big fan of, but hey, that's the way the business is going, right? But I think Arrow's been overall the fairest this year. Like I said, Criterion gave us a lot of some of the best visuals, and that's kind of like, that was the toughest thing, was picking best visuals. But I do think 3 of these releases right here from Arrow Video were some really high quality visual department releases. Now, one of them is a little divisive. Of course, not everyone loved this, but Eyes Wide Shut. I thought Eyes Wide Shut was a great in the visuals. I really like. I know people aren't a huge. If you're not a big fan of green, I understand why you'd be disappointed. But I do think like having a proper player and a proper TV with this one will give you the proper image that it's going for. Because I did test it out like on an Xbox Series X, and it didn't look as good as it does like with the Panasonic player and on an OLED 77-inch. Looked a little bit different. So this is one where I want 4K Blu-rays to be accessible to everybody, but sometimes, the quality of a player does make a difference when it comes to certain releases. And also with the color timing, not everyone was a big fan of the changes or love those decisions. But I personally thought that was a great release from them. Paying tax is awful. I am importing some UK only Arrow releases. Yeah, it's terrible. It's really costing us more money. I hate that. A Knight's Tale was the best surprise this year. It's a top 10 all-time favorite movie for me. Isn't that the best when you Billy, when you get like your favorite movie and like one of your favorites and it gets a proper 4K Blu-ray release? Like that was me with The Mask. Like I never could have imagined holding that movie. Like it's almost like it was made for me. Like that was such a big film for me in my childhood. Like I have stories for days. Like of me in The Mask when I was a kid and in that VHS and the amount of times I watched it. That was a huge. I couldn't believe that got a 4K Blu-ray release, and the way that they treated that, like that's what I want for every release. Circular for or Diabolic and Avoid Tarics. Yep, that's also very. Atomic does a great job as well. I bought my Panasonic because my Xbox sucks with 4Ks. Yeah, like that's one thing I try and do in my reviews. Is I try and test it out and see how it's going to look because it makes a difference. Like not every player is equal. And not every TV is like, you're going to get an upgrade in obviously some departments, but certain areas, your television's just going to make a difference. And, in comparison to theaters, there's times when like my TV at home, I'll be like, I can watch this at 4K at home and it'll look and sound better than it does in like the standard theater where it's like, it hasn't been upgraded since I was born. Which is fine. It's a different experience. I hope we see more Fox films in 2026. Original Planet of the Apes and Big Trouble in Little China. I know those are two big ones everyone's waiting for. For me, Planet of the Apes would be a huge one. I think we're going to get it this year. I hope we're going to get it this year. We really, really, really do need that. Planet of the Apes, yep, I agree. The original one's still the best one. I really like the last trilogy that we got, with the two Matt Reeves movies. Nice precursors to the Batman. I even like the original one. The one with James Franco. I thought that was a great release as well. But the other two Criterion releases I want to point out with just the great visuals, Altered States. This is I think it's 1980, right? Yeah. So the early film, just William Hurt, great looking film as far as these visuals go. And it's a visual. It was already like a visual treat, this movie. I never saw this movie before. So seeing it on 4K Blu-ray for the first time, just a huge treat for me. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. And then Brazil. I talked about this one a lot. The biggest flaw and why I couldn't include it on my top 10 of the year was just because everything else is the same. Now, given it's got two documentaries, one documentary just looking at how this was released in the United States and how Sid Sheinberg versus what's his name, Tony Gilroy, right? You know what I mean, the director of this movie. I'm just drawing a blank. It's a long day, guys. But anyway, that whole documentary is on here, the making of everything, all the extras that have been included are back on here. It's just that the only upgrade you're going to be getting is the visuals, but that visual upgrade is huge, in my opinion. Just a phenomenal looking film. Criterion, when they want to, can give you some of the best visuals out there. Now, those aren't my pick for best visuals of the year. Getting that in the second. Rumor has it that we are getting 2010 on 4K in 2026. I have heard that. The year we made contact. I hope we get that this year. Toy Story 5 is coming out this year as well. You're right. That feeling when all your favorite get upgraded, it's awesome. 25 gave it to me because all my favorite films in extended cut are the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yes, that's another one where you got the surgery. A lot of my favorite Clint Eastwood, like Dirty Harry's another one. I love that movie. I love the original one, so I couldn't believe that one got an upgrade this year. Like that was such a treat. Even like Billy Madison, like seeing that on 4K, it's not the greatest like upgrade as far as like the the extras or anything like that, but that's a quality 4K Blu-ray upgrade. I couldn't believe that. Like that's one that we got on 4K. Like these movies that we're finally getting into like the nitty gritty where we've gotten like pretty much all the big ones. Like I said, Fight Club's probably like the biggest one we haven't gotten yet, and it's hard to believe. Planet of the Apes, like like you said, the Fox titles, like we're really still waiting on them because they're holding them hostage. Criterion should have offered different, more interesting packaging. That's the other thing. Like, why just go with the same packaging that already existed? It's a little bland. There's nothing really too special about it. It looks exactly the same as the Blu-ray. I've always said, like, with their Barry Lyndon upgrade, which I also thought was a nice upgrade as well. They went with the nice digibook option, the thick digibook, which made it look a little bit different than the previous release. And, it made it feel like you're getting a little bit more for your dollar if you were upgrading. That's what I said in my original review for Brazil. Like, I don't know if I can justify it at full price if you're only getting that visual upgrade, even though, like I said, I thought it was beautiful. I just couldn't justify it at full price. The Arrow Dallas trilogy and Chunky Body, it was like grasping gold. I agree. Like, could you... I can't believe we have those releases. And don't forget about all the extras on it as well. $1 Million Baby. I'm not the world's biggest $1 Million Baby fan. I liked it at the time. We'll be visiting Vinegar Syndrome January 1st. I'll check them out, see what they got. Mellow Fellows here. What's up, buddy? Glad you could pop in. We also need the other Hateful Eight and Django Unchained. Yeah, I have that on one of my lists too coming up. I went with the Hateful Eight. I think that's the best one. But yeah, we need that, and then Death Proof, and I think that's all of them on 4K Blu-ray. This year, as far as like Jackie Brown, great 4K Blu-ray for upgrade for a Tarantino film. The Kill Bills left a lot to be desired. Now I'm hoping that the Kill Bill, the Whole Bloody Affair, comes from Lionsgate Limited, and that gets the best treatment of them all because that should get a 4K Blu-ray upgrade sometime. Yeah, 2026, I would think. I'm very hopeful too. Sound of Music, that's one that got a huge upgrade. Kingdom of Heaven and Tombstone were also a big deal for me. Tombstone, yeah, I know a lot of people were thrilled with Tombstone, and like that was I was a surprise. And Tombstone's a big Western for a lot of people. We reviewed that actually, David and I, on the channel this year. Thought it was great. Roadhouse. Roadhouse. Love Roadhouse. We need a little leader from Kubrick's catalog as well. Yep, that's one of the last big ones we need from him now. It should be coming at some point. That's a Criterion release for sure, and that should, which we just got Eyes Wide Shut. That will complete that circle. We should also still get Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Like I know he fought to get a physical media release for that, so we should get that in 2026. All right, I left you guys on the hook for a while, like what I thought the best visuals were in 2025. And I'm going to go still with the Nice Guys from Second Sight. Like I said, this had 2 releases this year. It had a Warner Brothers release, and it had a Second Sight release. Second Sight, they gave it the new restoration, the new scan, whereas Warner Brothers was just a 4K like upgrade from a 2K scan. So it's just a 2K intermediate. So that was really disappointing. But Second Sight's release was just a grand slam, man. Again, great extras, but the visuals, like that's a very colorful looking movie. And like it just pops off the screen. Like Boogie Nights, like from that same era as far as like the colors go, like the color palette, like it should have looked as good as Second Sight's release, The Nice Guys. That's why it's pretty funny that Boogie Nights only got the Warner Bros. Release, and we need like a boutique label to like jump in there and do that for Boogie Nights, because The Nice Guys, what a fucking phenomenal release that was. Second Sight honestly just had a great year this year. Yes, Ignite did the transfer for Reanimator, but Second Sight's release was also really good. The visuals were stunning. I said that earlier in the show. Like I was a little, maybe I should have been a little nicer on that one. Even though I gave it a high score, Coming to America is phenomenal. Love that movie. Nice Guys was awesome. Isn't that a great? I really have nothing bad to say about the Nice Guys. What TV shows would you love to get a 4K upgrade? West Wing, Sopranos are high on my list. I would love Sopranos. That would probably be right up there with number. Twin Peaks, I want a 4K Blu-ray upgrade. Like they did it for the first episode, like the very first, but I want a full upgrade for the series. The X-Files, Always Sunny in Philadelphia needs a proper upgrade, at least a Blu-ray to finish out the show. I wish. We'll see. Lost. Who said Lost? I was right there. Yes, Lost. That's a Mr. Mice. That's a big one. That we needed a huge upgrade for. I know someone who works for Criterion. He made certain his favorite films made it into the collection. His favorite film is Gumo, and he's the reason that Happiness is in there, and Network will be. Network is great. Happiness, I have that 4K Blu-ray upgrade. What a film that is. My God. One of a kind, not one of my personal favorites. Makes me a little uncomfortable, but you know what? I give him credit for pushing the boundaries of filmmaking. Gumo is gross, but I understand why people enjoy it. I am so stoked for the Hateful Eight. I love the Hateful Eight. Actually, that might get watched in the next couple days, even though the 4K is not out. How did the bad guy from Avatar died of? No, did the bad guy? I heard something about that. I'm not sure though. Lost, yes, like everyone knows, Lost needs it because that's a beautiful looking show. I picked up the Nice Guys Chunky Buy as a blind buy, and loved it. I'm so glad you loved it. I feel like more people need to see the Nice Guys. So if this is you hearing it for the first time, go check that out. I actually heard a little tidbit today about that movie, and like apparently Russell Crowe said that the reason why they haven't done the Nice Guys 2 is because they can't get past laughing at the title, him and Ryan Gosling, which is the Nice Guys 2 Mexican detectives. I don't understand, and that's the point. I just hope we get it because I absolutely love the Nice Guys. We also need Insomniac and Memento from the Nolan's filmography. Yes, which I've heard rumors about for Memento this year. I think Umbrella is supposedly going to be doing their own version, which should lead to a US, UK release somewhere else. So hopefully that happens. As far as what else? Oh yeah, and Insomniac. Who was that? What's their studio that did that? Was that Warner Brothers? Like I'm surprised that one because people do really like Insomniac. It's not one of Nolan's best in my opinion. That's his most conventional film. Like almost show that he can make a studio movie, but I can't put that in the upper echelon of his movies in my opinion. Big Bang Theory, people love it. I can understand why people would want a 4K release of that. Breaking Bad, yes. That had a great Blu-ray release. Insomnia, yep. I would also love Reno 911. I buy all my TV shows on DVD. My Panic upscale is enough for me. See, I have some DVDs. Like I have Reno 911. I have also Batman the animated series. I never upgraded to the Blu-ray because I have really cool DVDs of those. I Viva La Bam. I don't have many. That's my biggest blind spot. I have some mini series. Like I have Watchmen, Chernobyl. Like I have those miniseries on Blu-ray and 4K Blu-ray and Steelbooks. Like those are great TV releases. Miami Vice, like that's rumored to be getting the 4K Blu-ray release. Hopefully they get that. Yes, please upgrade. And Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul needs it too. Yeah, give us them both on 4K. Like those are the TV upgrades we need. I would love to get a 4K of the Squid Game. I get a bootleg Blu-rays, which is how I hate to do with Netflix. Netflix, see, that's the thing. It's not really bootlegging if they give you no other option. They just want you to go to their streaming service, and that's what scares a lot of us about Warner Brothers being eaten up by Netflix, is that they're going to kill our physical releases. We can't have that happen, guys. I'm a big Stargate fan. They have a new series coming. I would love 4Ks of all the Stargate TV shows. Yeah, I mean, your favorite should always get the upgrades. I always feel that way. The one CT, okay, the OC, One Tree Hill, Dawson's Creek, Friends. Friends has the 4K release already. Oh, John, I didn't tell you, but it turns out that the Umbrella version on Dogma is in fact more complete than the US edition. Really? That doesn't surprise me, but I'm glad, and that's the one you held on to. So you know what? It all worked out for you, right? I'm glad. I'm happy for you, mellow fellow, my buddy. I want the original Poseidon. That's a good one on 4K at this point. I'm hoping now with the death of Gene Hackman that we'll get it along with the Towering Inferno. That's a good point. And we're getting the airport movies on 4K Blu-ray. And we just got Earthquake last year as well. So it opens the door up for more of those, disaster films of the 1970s coming to 4K Blu-ray. Hopefully they do. I got the first 10 seasons of Supernatural on DVD for $30. That's a steal. You really can't beat something like that. What else? So as far as like best box sets of the year, nobody talked about this one. Like I put TMNT up there as well as some of the best box sets of the year. But I still think that the best one for me and surprised me is the A24 release of the Ty West trilogy of X, Pearl, and Maxine. Like putting in this big box, which I still have nowhere to put, by the way. That was the worst thing I could say about it. But they still went all out on this thing. Like it's an unbelievable release. Like just the amount of like boxes you have to go through to get into this thing. And then like this is great paper stock. And then like coming inside, like it's beautiful. Like it's a beautiful release. And it just I don't know. It kind of came and went. I was very surprised. It didn't really come out with much love fare. And did Maxine sour a lot of people? Is that like what it was? Like people just couldn't get behind because of like Pearl's the best still, and I think a lot of people have come around and said like Pearl's even better than X. I liked X a lot. It's a great setup for Pearl. It makes X better in my opinion, but I think people were a little let down by Maxine. I still really like Maxine and can stand behind it. Like if you're a fan of like Brian De Palma's Body Double, I really think you'll enjoy Maxine. But I thought that was just a great box set release this year. But the other one I would go to is like TMNT. I can't believe this thing is the other thing. It's a little hard to get in there. Yeah. So there you go. No, see, I did it wrong. I think it's supposed to go in this way. That's not a good bonus for it, right? Is that it doesn't work that great. So yeah, I thought that was a very quality box set, and I just don't have a place to put it. I'm gonna have to get one of like those floating shelves for it or something, because it's like, where are you gonna put something that big? Can you do a video soon about Avatar 3? Watch the trailer talking about it. Well, you see, I would do that, but the thing is that it's a little late in the game, and that video probably wouldn't do so great on the channel since the film's already been out. If I'm going to do a video on Avatar 3, it probably would just make sense for me to probably just wait till the 4K Blu-ray comes out. And then if enough people want me to do a video on Avatar 3, I would do it. I just don't know if enough people would be necessarily interested, because I'm not like a big fan, and I don't want to be that guy who's like talking about a movie they don't necessarily love, because there's enough negativity. We talked about the negative stuff, but another positive this year, and this is the best steelbook of the year in my opinion, is Sinners on 4K Blu-ray. I came around really hard on the steelbook. Now, this is my second favorite film of the year, but the steelbook, I love this indent. And it was a hard steelbook to get, which I really wish, again, they didn't do that. But I thought they did a great job as far as like steel. I'm not the biggest steelbook guy. There's been a lot of good ones that have come out this year. Like I did like the the like I said, Dirty Harry, Outlaw Josie Wells, and Pale Rider. I thought those were nice steelbooks as well. But some people just the Tron steelbooks are great. Everybody's got different like choices of the kind of steelbooks that they like. But for me, for my money, I thought Sinners. Ryan Coogler's Sinners, starring Michael B. Jordan, one of the best films of the year. Got a proper 4K steelbook release. I just say, oh, see now this I did in my video. The movies that still need to come to 4K in 2026. We need more Spike Lee's cinematography. All I can think of are Malcolm X and Do the Right Thing. Yeah, well, there's also Black Klansman as a 4K release, and also School Days. Yeah, has a 4K Blu-ray release as far as other stuff as well. 25th on my list, I put 25th Hour. So when you guys see the live video, I had 25th Hour, but I also said 25th Hour, He Got Game, and Clockers all need 4K Blu-ray releases. Clockers has a Kino Lorber Blu-ray release, but He Got Game and the 25th Hour are stuck behind an out of print double pack Blu-ray, which makes no sense. 25th Hour is one of the best movies in the last like 30 years. Like that's my third favorite Spike Lee movie. He Got Game. I get why people might be like poo-poo it a little bit, but still a phenomenal film. And Clockers is hugely underrated. The only thing with I have to keep it. The only thing with Clockers, and maybe a 4K could fix this, is I'm not a big fan of the cinematography, that overexposed lighting cinematography in it. But I just, it needs an upgrade in my opinion. But still, like those, we don't have enough Spike Lee on 4K, and it kills me. And The Five Bloods is a Netflix film, so there's no chance on that. And Highest to Lowest, Apple. So who knows? I hope so. Never seen Sinners. I think you'll like it. It's great. Sinners is so good. Such a great film, right? If One Battle After Another didn't come out this year, right? Love the steal, but great transfer. Yeah, it's a great 4K, and they gave us the IMAX enhanced scenes in that movie and great audio. Like it just missed my top 10 of the year. Like that would have been in the 11 to 20 range, but the steelbook was beautiful. No 2025 films made my top 10 of the year as far as like their 4K releases go, but still, that was a great release. That's why keeping it to 10 is really tough because there's a lot of quality releases this year. That steelbook was nice. Plain Jane Sinister. I like the standard cover better. Hey, everyone's got their own opinion. Sometimes I do feel like I lean a little bit on the plainer side when it comes to 4K steelbooks. Like if this got too much going on, I'm like, I don't know. Like Jacob's Ladder is a nice one. That was right up there for me. I thought Malcolm X was coming out in 4K. No, it is. It's already out on 4K, Malcolm X. I have it right up there. It's a Criterion. Great 4K release, actually. Is that Uncle V? Love you. What's up, Uncle V? I miss you, buddy. Mo Better Blues. Mo Better Blues has a 4K release. Mo Better Blues is a good one that needs it. I mean, if you go, I want all his movies on 4K. Like, I'll take them all. He's one of my favorite directors. Wait, they are rebooting Sleeping with the Enemy? Good Lord. They can't, Insomniac. They can't leave stuff alone. We talk a lot about Backdraft and Frank, and they're going to reboot Backdraft at some point, too. Like, they can't come up with original ideas anymore. It kills me to say it, but it's very true. They just can't come up with an original idea. They have to just keep remaking the same things over and over and over again. Any Scorsese films need to come to 4K. Off the top of my head, we got Kills of the Flower Moon coming. Color of Money. I might be the only one, and I'll die on that hill. But The Color of Money is one of my favorite Martin Scorsese films. Cape Fear, that needs to come to 4K. Another one that's a very underrated one of his filmography. Like we've gotten a lot of weird ones on 4K. I guess we haven't gotten what else? What was the other one that came out a few years ago? In between, like we got The Irishman on 4K, thankfully from the Criterion Collection. We got Kills the Flower Moon. I'm trying to think what else we haven't gotten on 4K from his filmography, but we've gotten to most of them, all the big ones. I just think we're missing those two big ones. The Last Temptation of Christ too. I've requested and He Got Game and White Man Can't Jump on repeat. White Man Can't Jump is a huge one as well. Conundrum and Silence. That's the other one I was trying to remember. I just bought the Blu-ray for Silence because I got to rewatch it. That's always like kind of been the one like The Last Temptation of Christ. I'm just not a religious guy, but I watched The Last Temptation of Christ last year. Beautiful film. Obviously a little bit. I can relate a little more to that. Gangs in New York too. Gangs in New York needs a huge 4K up. That's one I was forgetting as well. Needs a 4K upgrade. I know about The Aviator as well. What are your favorite movies of 2025? Well, Ben, I am making a whole video. I actually was shooting that video, a little behind the scenes thing here on the channel, but I was shooting the top 10 movies of 2025 list a little earlier today. and I was just having a lot of technical issues, and I was getting a little frustrated. So I stopped the video, and I'm gonna reshoot it tomorrow morning. But sometimes these things happen. So, but yes, my favorite films this year, I'll give you guys, like, you guys pretty much can figure it out, piece it together. But like One Battle After Another and Sinners are right up there. Train Dreams is a big one for me. Um, Another big one that's like towards the end of the year, we got ton like Jake Kelly. I thought was a very good movie this year. Same thing with like Sentimental Value. That was a good one. Naked Gun, as far as comedies go, that was some of my favorite films this year. Uh, the Venetian Scheme, me and my wife watched last night. It's just Wes Anderson doing Wes Anderson things. Couldn't really crack the top 10 for me. The Long Walk was a big one this year as well. Absolutely love that. As for Life of Chuck, that was a good one as well. Like, these are kind of more like honorable mentions, like, because I don't want to like spoil the entire list. But F1 like didn't make my top 10, but that was still a very fun film that came out this year. Eddington, I really enjoyed Ari Aster's Eddington. Not everybody loved that movie. A lot of movies that were like philosophical kind of really got to me this year. Like things that I hadn't really like, weren't really on my radar, kind of caught me at the right time. Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. Yeah, you know what? That's one I always forget about that one. And that's the movie he did after Mean Streets. I'm with you. Love Color of Money. See, not everyone loves Color of Money, man. I don't get it. We need those goddamn Cheech and Chong movies on 4K. Well, they have 4K scans, like you said, right? So hopefully we're getting them. Eventually, how do we not? They're icons. I don't need 4K, but King of Comedy. Love King of Comedy on 4K. I have the Blu-ray of that. Pretty good. I watch another who talks to the studio guys from WB Disney, and they say that the main guys damn near refuse to do IPs because they're afraid to spend money on them, which is why we get reboots. Like I get like, and what the problem is like they're kind of right. Like, we talk about the theater business and like what they do and like the struggles and why they struggle. People only seem to get up and go out, but for something that's like almost a guarantee, and it's got to be a name because they're not going to spend the money in the theater unless it's something that they trust. But that's just so disappointing. Or like Sinners is a good example of an original film actually making some money this year. People went out and actually saw Sinners in theater, so we can get more original films from Ryan Coogler. One Battle After Another, that's kind of an original film too. People know about PTA, but that movie didn't do that well domestically. Sinners was much more successful. But the main movies that made money this year are still IP, and IP sells, and that's it's sad for people who love original films and sequels. Yep, it was a great meme yesterday. My buddy Shamrock Balls David sent me, and it was from the Terminator, and it's him asking for an original film, and all it's like all he's like is like, it's just sequels, IP, and he's like, just what you get, pal. You can't get anything original anymore. That's kind of sucks. Sinners my number one. Yeah, if One Battle After Another didn't come out this year, Sinners would be my favorite film of the year. But it's those two are 5-star films for me, and there's two more that I even gave 5 stars to, but they're just not as good as the top two. Like, those two are going to be the movies that I'm going to be watching for the rest of my life, guaranteed. There's a lot of great movies that came out this year, but then they kind of fall off. I gotta admit, I kind of fell out of love with the superhero comic book films this year. I don't know if I'm getting older or if they're just becoming too generic, like just way too much use of like CGI. Like the movies that really struck a chord are like the movies that I love, like the way they make those kinds of movies, like Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, using practical sets, like that stuff I love. If you say you're a religious guy, the robe is needed on 4K, the first ever widescreen movie ever. Really? I'm actually not a religious guy, but I should still check that out. Glad to see you mentioned Sentimental Value needs an Oscar. Yeah, well, he probably will win the Oscar for Sentimental Value because he's running in Best Supporting Actor. He's definitely, which is to me, you saw the movie. I think that's like category fraud. He should be running in Best Lead Actor. I feel like he's the star of that film. Like, he's the patriarch of the family. Like, his daughters, like, he's trying to like his relationship with his daughters, but we get moments with his daughters, but he's the through line. I mean, I guess we leave him alone and have some sisterly moments as well. But yeah, good movie, man. Again, I felt guilty now putting in my top 10. Like, I guess having like, I felt like this year there's probably 4 all-timers, about like 8 to 10 really good movies, and then there's a lot of like good movies, and then there's just like a lot of forgettable stuff, I would say. Did you see Marty Supreme? Yes, I did see Marty Supreme. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I didn't love it as much as other people loved it. I said earlier in the show that like I love certain aspects. I love the score. Like, that's my favorite score of the year. I love the needle drops for like Forever Young and Everybody wants to rule the world. And I like that Josh Safdie gave us a much more happier ending compared to like Uncut Gems, but they still kind of do the same kind of thing. And, the lead character like is his own worst enemy and he's not really a likable guy, but Timothy Chalamet played the role perfectly. Thought it was a very good movie, just not one that I absolutely loved. So like, it's a solid like I love that Abel Ferrara was in there. That was awesome. Color Money is excellent. Yeah, I'm glad you're on the same page as me. How'd you feel about it though? I always forgot about what IP means, intellectual property. So basically something that's already existed, like like the DCU is an intellectual property. Harry Potter. You think Sinners was original? It's Dust Till Dawn. No, there's more to it than just like the vampires, like being a twist in the middle of the movie. It's so much more culture driven, music driven. It's really a mishmash of a lot of different genres. And then you got Michael B. Jordan playing twins in it. It's got like, a Quentin Tarantino-esque ending in there. There's so much more to Sinners than just From Dust Till Dawn. From Dust Till Dawn actually pisses me off, but it's still pretty good. Intellectual property. Yep. I'm the exact opposite city. There is no movie theater where I live. Closest one is an hour away. People ask me why I collect. I don't want to drive an hour just to see a movie. Yeah, that's messed up. Like I always feel guilty complaining, but like where I live, there's only really like one nice theater. There's a bunch of theaters that you can go see, but there's only really like one nice theater where we have the Dolby Theater and the IMAX theater. Like that's where I always say like it's frustrating that I'm at the mercy of AMC, but they're the ones that give us those theaters. So I'm forced to like go there to go see movies where I would rather like, you know, go somewhere like like support a small theater, but a small theater has just the screens just don't match up anymore. Like, it's a shame, but I can go watch something nicer at home. Hey, John, happy New Year. Jeff, I got good news for you, buddy. You won the physical media giveaway for the channel members. So I'll flash this up here for you real quick one more time. You have your choice of those. And, just message me. And you know how I am with messaging back. I'll get to it eventually. If you don't hear from me in like a day or something, make sure you just resend it because who the hell knows if I checked it. But congratulations, buddy. Happy New Year, man. I've only seen the films from. I've only seen 3 films from so maybe I shouldn't be here. Ballerina, Caught Stealing, and Good Fortune. I mean, hey, listen. I don't know how many new films I saw this year overall, but it's probably less than in years past. Like I watched a lot of more older films this year because of like I probably watched over 100 and something 4K Blu-rays this year, but I probably only saw about 100 new 2025 films, which is when I do the top 10 of the year, I try and see like everything, but I'm, not an official critic or anything. So I don't go out and like, or I don't try to be. So I don't go out and like reach out to get screeners or anything. I wait till they're in theaters, then I go check them out. Like this month, I've been trying to just catch up on all the stuff I missed this year that I didn't get to see in theaters. And, some stuff still hasn't come. That's the thing that kind of sucks sometimes. Hot take from Dust Till Dawn would have been awesome as a Criminals on the Run movie without the vampires. That's what pissed me off. That's not a hot take. I agree with that take. That's what got me the first time I saw it. I had to actually like adjust myself to just accept that. I was more in line with like them on the run from the robbery and everything in the beginning. And then when they turned the van, I'm like, what the fuck? They're vampires? Like, I don't know. Wasn't into it the first time. Think we'll ever get American Beauty 4K? I think so. It's the best picture winner. And I am of the mindset that every Best Picture winner should have a 4K Blu-ray release. We got a lot of them this year. Honora out of Africa got 4K Blu-ray releases, so we've been pretty good. I know one, but getting Ben-Hur, so they've been pretty good about giving us some of the Best Picture winners on 4K Blu-ray. Thankfully. Oh, that's awesome. I agree with Cap. Thanks, John. No problem, buddy. You deserve it, man. Congratulations. Did Kroll win any awards for you? Kroll was a great 4K, but it didn't win. Like, it should have been in the running for best visuals. They surprised me as well this year. What's up, Dylan Movies? Glad you can pop in here, buddy. 60 minutes away is the closest theater to me. It sucks to drive that far, but I love movies too much to not go. We have the membership, so we get free discounted tickets. See, the membership really helps, and that's my problem. And I always feel guilty when I don't go to the movies. Like even when I'm exhausted, I'm like, I try and go to the theaters at least once a week, but between the channel, work, and just generally like life, like sometimes it's like hard. But I want to always make sure I get out there and see one movie a week, and like this week I'm hoping to see like Sing Sung Blue. I just saw Marty Supreme the other day. Me and my wife went and saw The Housemaid. Pretty good movie, actually. I think you guys would have some fun with that one. So that was a good one that we saw as well. And they keep releasing like movies that are going to be in the running for awards, like slowly but surely, to get the slow rollout, and then I can get out there and see them. But 60 minutes, man, that's commitment to your love, and I get it, man. We are all big movie fans, and that's the thing. If you're out there, you're gonna want to go see those movies. And I admire that, actually doing that. Are you a Predators fan? Have you seen the latest one? So I'm gonna probably get the Predators Badland 4K, but I realized I was not the biggest Predator fan. I like the original one; that's still my favorite. But all the sequels, I either like them or I think they're okay. But for even Prey, like I was excited about Prey because it was a quality film, but I realized I don't run back to Prey that much. And I even saw the new Daniel Trachtenberg animated film, and I was like, I didn't like it as much as other people. And I'm gonna see Badlands, but I know other people loved it, but I'm not too excited. I just got to grab the 4K. That's my whole thing. I know that. Just hey Jeff, I'm glad you guys know each other. Stacy, I'm glad you guys could all pop in here. But we do have one more award to give out though before we move on, and that is the best 4K Blu-ray of the year. Now, if you waited to see it here, I appreciate it, but I also did put out the top 10 list yesterday, and it hasn't changed. So Nightmare Alley is my favorite 4K Blu-ray, and I think the best bang for your buck in 2025. Like I said, and that's why we did the awards. This I just think is the total package, and that's what I'm looking for when it comes to the best 4K Blu-ray releases. It's not just the visuals, it's not just the audio, it's not just the extras, and it's not just the packaging or the film. You got to put them all together, and even the price is a big part of it as well, because I feel like you can't be overcharging for this kind of thing. And I think Criterion, they have their set price points. They're also very fair when it comes to their 50% off sales. And they gave you 2 cuts of the movie in 4K Blu-ray in black and white and in color with a new Dolby Vision scan for the colored version. And how many different kinds of featurettes and extras. Like, I just feel like this is the best that you get with physical media. And of course, it's a boutique label like Criterion giving us that special treatment that a 4K Blu-ray like Nightmare Alley, a film I love, I think deserves. Now, of course, that's my opinion. Everyone else has their own choice of what they thought was the best 4Ks of Blu-rays of 2025. Predator 1 and 2 are the best. The rest can go away. Honestly, I mean, that's pretty much how I kind of feel. It's like I could just live with the first Predator, if I'm being honest. I think that one's just a classic, in my opinion. Love Predator. I have the original 4K for Nightmare. Is that transfer any different? So yes. And I should point out that when it comes to Nightmare Alley's Buena Vista Disney 4K Blu-ray, which I had, and I gave him the Frank from Frank's. He won last month's giveaway, so he actually got that one. That's what he picked for his choice, because Guillermo del Toro did do a thing with the Criterion Collection. So that's just HDR10, different color grading. Now, my wife, I showed her, she's a fan of Nightmare Alley, and I was doing the review, and I was showing her the colored version. I wanted a second set of eyes on it to see the differences between the Disney Buena Vista version and the Criterion version. And she actually herself preferred the Disney Buena Vista version, which I think was a more vibrant color one. And I think it's more eye catching, but I thought that the Dolby Vision version through the Criterion Collection was more natural, more realistic version, which I preferred. So it really comes down to personal preference, I think, on that. Do you like it when it's a little bit more colorful, where it's going to be more eye popping? Obviously our eyes get drawn to that, but it might look a little bit more unnatural. It really, I think, is going to come down to you on that one. I personally prefer it in the Criterion Collection, but they are different, so it's really going to come down to how you feel. Badlands is awful. Predator and Sid talking about the fire with cute creatures they can tell in stores. Sell in stores. See, that's the thing. I was afraid you were going to say that, Insomniac. They Disney-fied it, didn't they? That's what that sounds like, and I was really hoping somebody wouldn't say that. Nightmare. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that, buddy. You got me wanting to watch Nightmare with your review. I love Nightmare Alley. I feel like I'm a little higher on that movie than a lot of people, and I feel like that I kind of get like that with Guillermo del Toro in general. Certain I know why people don't like Wes Anderson. You gotta really like his style, and I feel like that's sometimes with Guillermo del Toro. It's I really just like his style of movie making, and Nightmare Alley is it checks a lot of personal boxes. And when I saw that movie in theaters, I was blown away, and people were oh, it's a step down from The Shape of Water. I'm like, I mean, at worst, it's a sidestep, right? The Shape of Water is great too. I love Nightmare Alley. I could put that on again right now. That's a movie that I'll be climbs up my all-time favorite list. Hey, John, you should look into Huck's 52-week movie watch challenge for 2020. It looks to be super fun. Thank you for that because I will check into that. I gotta look it up though. Like, what's the name of that so I can what's it called? Huck's 52-week movie challenge. Huck's 52, so I can remember that. When you message me about the movie, write that in there so I don't forget because I just end up losing things. But I appreciate that recommendation. I bought Nightmare Alley and also got the 1947 original from Criterion. That's awesome. I appreciate you doing. Every damn movie now is about sitting around and talking about their feelings. It's infuriating. Yes, if we can come down to it, I would say 2025 would be the year of trauma, right? Everyone's got trauma. Um, Even the movies that like I really liked, like that does seem to be a central theme. And you know, it's just always kind of like what happens. Like you can see the through lines like in 2025, the kinds of movies that like, kind of bubble to the top and what they're talking about. But it even hits like the ones that used to just be entertainment where you went to the movie and just had a bucket of popcorn. Like when I go see one battle after another, like I understand that we're going to be talking about or Eddington, we're going to be talking about like life in general. So life is going to be reflected in the art. But when I go see like Thunderbolts or like the Fantastic Four, I don't need the same themes in all those movies. I get it. And I don't need it driven into me. I get it. Like it just these movies feel like a writing team writing these like tentpole films. But again, they're the ones that make money. So it's like, we want like the new films. We want original films, but are we going to get them? Like it's kind of hard to say because they don't make money. And money again, this is a business. I hate that. I hate it. It is like art, but art is a business. It's got to make money for it to be valuable. And unfortunately, you could just see that like things are not going the right way with the movies that make money. Like it doesn't feel right. It feels a little off. And I'm hoping that 2026 kind of corrects that. What films are you looking forward to? I have a few: Project Hail Mary, Dune 3, Digger, and Avengers Doomsday. So yeah, I mean, so far for 2026, I haven't really looked too far into it, if I'm being honest. Right, just Dune 3 was like the big one that I was at the top of my list. The Batman got delayed, so that's not coming out in 2026 anymore. And I'm not too sure exactly, if I'm trying to think off the top of my head what directors have new films coming out. No Tarantino film this year. No Wes Anderson. I'm not. Yeah, I got to really look at the list and like I do like a top 10 most anticipated. I still need to see Nightmare Alley. I think you'll love it, man. I hope you do. Hopefully, I don't mislead you. I really wanted to love Frankenstein, but those CGI ruined it for me. Yeah, that was the whole thing, right? Like he used the practical sets, and I'll spoil it. Like Frankenstein makes my top 10 of the year. Again, maybe I'm a little bit of a fanboy for Guillermo del Toro, but that those parts in the middle, it's like you did so well with these practical sets and these practical effects. Why would you put that shitty of CGI in your movie? Like I don't get it. Like it's so off putting, and the juxtaposition doesn't necessarily work. Let down in that aspect. Just reserved Nightmare Alley at the library. I hope you like it, Rico. I think Frank will make a showing so we can shame him for not seeing Backdraft still. It's the middle of the day over there in Oregon, so I don't know. What is a challenge? We're 40 minutes away from 2026 here now. That's right, different time zones. I still got it's 6:21 p.m. Eastern time here, so got some time. I do my New Year's Day tradition, which I'll share with you guys. I shared a little bit in my video I shot earlier today, like everything I saw in December ranked, which was a hard video to make. I saw 39 films this month, and I try to make those videos entertaining. So hopefully it came out good. But my New Year's tradition is I watch Father of the Bride Parts 1 and Part 2 on New Year's Eve, and that's what I'll be doing tonight with my wife. And this year it'll be a little bit sadder because Diane Keaton passed away, but it's always been like a tradition. Like that's the movies we watch, like a wedding kind of feels like a celebration and a little bit glamorous, but I don't got to go out and see all the people. So, they're also kind of very nostalgic. I watched them with my mom, and she's a big fan of those movies. Had this crap in there too, talking about feelings. Yeah, it's just why is that something we need now? Week 1 is a Rob Reiner film. Oh, good, because actually we're doing a Rob Reiner film on the Let's Talk Movies podcast. We're doing Misery in honor of any a winter movie. I went 52 and 50. Did you really, buddy? Congratulations. The difference between filmmakers then and now: older filmmakers use life experiences. Newer filmmakers live in the LA bubble and can only pull from what they hear currently today. That's the thing. And you hit her like right on the head. Like they're just so out of touch with the rest of us and what the rest of the world is going through. And they feel like that because they get to talk about their feelings all the time. Like that's how everyone should be. And it's like you're driving the same message into like just very entertaining films, and that shouldn't be like there was way too much of that in 2025. I mean, it's been a common problem. I'm hoping that like that's something that changes, but we need more people to go out and see original movies. Like we don't get comedies anymore. Like I was so glad that we got The Naked Gun and the Venetian Scheme this year, because like those are like the only two major comedies released in theater. Like we have movies that get comedy in them. Like you could say, oh, like Superman, like that's kind of a comedy, but it's like, obviously it's a superhero movie. It's not the same as just we used to get R-rated comedies, like one or two a year. We don't get them anymore because nobody goes and sees them because they're worried about offending people. And comedy's comedy. You can just make fun of anything as long as it's meant as a joke. I don't think you're really hurting anyone's feelings. I've also never seen Backdraft or Billy Madison either. Can recommend both very highly, my friend. Cool tradition. I don't have anything like that, but I'll be watching one battle after another shortly. I hope you enjoy that. That is my favorite film of the year. Yeah, I mean it's a weird tradition, right? But I love the Father of the Bride movies. I love to hear someone else love Father of the Bride movies. See, Mark? Okay. I mean, I thought you guys would rip into me. I get it if you want to, but I don't care. I love the Father of the Bride movies. I'm not gonna, be ashamed about that. Steve Martin's great. I mean, you even get a young Kieran Culkin in there. They're sweet movies. I that's always how I kind of felt about them. They're lighthearted. They're not, Steve Martin's always fun. I always find it funny that he's such a great dad in film, and yet he didn't have a kid until he was in his 70s. It's crazy. John, I hope you don't mind me intruding, but I don't like to let the chat down. I'll be going live a little later after you're off. Hey, make sure you guys go over to Jeff's chat and check out his live a little bit later. I didn't know if I was intruding. I didn't realize that you had one, buddy. That's my fault. I only did this just because I didn't want to let people down with the regular live stream on Wednesdays, because we didn't have one last Wednesday. So I wanted to make sure I had one today. It just happened to be New Year's Eve. And I figured, hey, let's just keep it light, best and worst of the year kind of stuff, and just chat with each other. That's kind of just what we're doing now for a little bit longer. You got me wearing the Rich, just got to torture myself. I think you'll enjoy it. I like Jaws 4 a lot. I think it's fun. It's one of, oh, Stacy, just saw that 3K. You got Zach Braff in there, right? Because I mean, he's perfect for that kind of thing. In 2020, you need to watch Arlington Road, John. It's a good thriller. So it's funny. Been thinking a lot about Arlington Road. I'm making sure that one doesn't leave my mind for January, so I can watch that this month. That's like one where like I have a list, but it's in my head of like I gotta watch Arlington Road, because I also heard them mention on a podcast recently, so I took that as a sign. Like I gotta watch it. Paddington 2 is a perfect film, and that's one of the rare 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Paddington 2, because of Me Too, scared Hollywood out of everything risky. It's crazy though. Like it's just comedy, man. I don't get it. It blows my mind sometimes. Steve Martin's one of my favorite actors. Just bought all of me. You can just, anything he's in, he's just seems like a genuine guy. And even to this day, like all the stuff with him and Martin Short, my wife loves that show, like All the Murders in the Building. He's great. Oh no, it's actually a Hit a Surprise live. Okay, all right, good. Well, I'm glad that hopefully everyone gets over there. Is amazing. See, that's what everyone says. I know I'm the one missing out. That's a big blank spot for me. It's crazy. It's rumored that Gone with the Wind is going to be coming to 4K Blu-ray in 2026. I was waiting to watch that on 4K for my first time watching it, and then I watched it last year because Kevin Kruger wanted me to check it out. And it's a good movie. I'm gonna definitely get the 4K now, but it's like I almost caught up to it, like my original plan. I haven't seen All of Me since it was in theaters my God, yeah, that's a while ago since that was in theaters, wasn't it? And then make anything close to Tropic Thunder today. If they cannot even go near Tropic Thunder, not only will the director be like just incarcerated probably, or incinerated, but all those actors will be condemned to hell if they make anything close to Tropic Thunder. Even the one scene in The Hangover, you got to feel bad about now when they're paging Dr. F, because you can't do it, even though it was just meant as a joke. It was never meant to be what it was. But I mean, hey, different times, right? Arlington Road is brilliant. Bridges and Robin work off each other so well. You guys, maybe this is one I got to watch tomorrow. Tropic is one of the last great comedies. And it's funny, like I'll defend Tropic Thunder, but I'm not the world's biggest Tropic Thunder fan, believe it or not. That was one I remember I saw it in theaters with like a group of my friends, and they all loved it. And I was like, other than Tom Cruise, I don't think I laughed that much. The fake trailers in the beginning were hysterical, actually, as well. I was requested to make a custom 4K stick for Jaws Revenge, but with the retail look, it turned me to add all the banners on that I always remove. I wonder how that came out. Actually, is that done, Mellow Fellows? Yeah, Ben Stiller directed. I think he could get away with it again. That's also true. Ben Stiller gets like a free pass, like almost like the South Park guys. Like the South Park guys can just do whatever they want. Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Like no one's like gonna ever stop them. It's like Yeah, you guys just are uncancelable. Like no matter what you guys, and probably because they're just fucking funny. Like that's the whole thing with them. Let's see. I'm praying God will be a Warner Archive release with classic poster art and pristine presentation like The Searchers, but sounds like it'll be a general WB release. That sucks. It should get the Warner Archive treatment. I actually got Get Carter on 4K Blu-ray starring Michael Caine. Can't even do my accent anymore. But I haven't watched it yet. I started it, but I was really tired, so I didn't want to spoil the experience. Let's see. I think RDG won a Golden Globe for Tropic and was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Yeah, it would never happen today. They would have. I told you, I would have cast him to hell. Oh, thank you so much, Insomniac, buddy. I really appreciate that. Again, you're always supporting the channel, handing out memberships. Now people will get those videos. I've shot a bunch. You'll get them a little bit earlier because anyone who's a friend of the channel or above gets the videos a little earlier. Thank you so much, Insomniac. I appreciate that, buddy. And so did Stacy. I have a lot of information about the making of Arlington Road and some different choices that they had for. So once you see it, let me know what you think. So yeah, I will let you know for sure what I think once I see it. Hopefully, that might be one, like I said, that I do tomorrow because I am very excited about checking it out. So yeah, what else is going on, guys? Because I'm probably gonna get out of here in a little bit. Just voice is starting to go. Like I said, I was recording and I had work today, so I've been up since about 5 in the morning. I'm gonna start figuring out what we're gonna do for dinner, then sit down, watch Father of the Bride parts 1 and 2. Hopefully, I make it to midnight. I hope you guys make it to midnight, and we'll be back to our regular time next week, so 6:45 p.m. Sorry that this week was so earlier. So much. Thank you. Sorry that. Yeah. Thank you so much for gifting those again, Insomniac. Next week will be 6:45 p.m. Back to our regular time. This week was a little bit earlier because of the holiday. And guys, so make sure you go over to Jeff John Doe Juggalo's channel and subscribe to him. Do the right. He's a great guy, just a good friend of mine. Been along like since the earliest days. Do you think Disney and Sony do better than stocking the 4K steelbooks this year? The shortages for the Master and Commander and Tombstones were annoying, and the Trons as well. I hope that they've learned their lesson. I don't know how many people need to call them out on it, but as long as we keep buying, they're not going to care. That's the real unfortunate thing. Get Cart is a great. I picked up the chunky box a couple years ago. I also recommend the remake from 2001 with Stallone. Really? See, I didn't check that one out. But the original one sounds like something that that 4K looks like it's going to be great. So I'm looking forward to checking it out. But anyway, guys, yeah. So next Wednesday, 6:45. In between then, though, I'm going to have some videos for you guys. So make sure you guys check out on Friday. Will be Black Phone 1 and 2. I'm going to have everything I saw in January ranked from worst to first. I also did a Blu-ray review, my first imprint Blu-ray review for HUD, 1963 film. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. It's a Paul Newman film, but it's a very interesting physical media release because it was out of print here in America since 2003. Still is. It's an Australian release. So I'll talk about the release of it on physical, and we'll talk about yes, buddy, another great year. Calling you my friend as well. You're a great guy, man. Thank you so much for your long time support. Okay, yeah, of course, buddy. You're the best. Thank you so much, Ben Ronald. You guys are all the best. I said give us a Stallone Russell movie like Tank. I would love that as well. So yeah, I'll keep going. So happy New Year, guys. And I just thank you guys all so much for always supporting me. I hope you guys enjoy the videos I got coming in next week. So enjoy it, and happy New Year. Be safe if you're going out drinking. If you're staying in watching movies, I hope it's a good movies. Go Knicks. Yeah, man. Knicks are on a roll, buddy. Hopefully you guys can just enjoy it. Be safe. Have a good night. And I'll be seeing you around.